Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got the third game of a four-game series between the Cincinnati Reds and Colorado Rockies in the post-1961 Apba League. Excuse me, leading off for the Reds, playing center field is Rose, batting second, playing second is Morgan, batting third, playing right field is Griffey, batting fourth, playing left field is Foster, batting fifth, doing the catching is Bench, batting sixth, playing third base is Perez, batting seventh, playing first base is Vada, batting eighth, playing shortstop is Larkin, and batting ninth on the mound is Nolan. And for the hometown Colorado Rockies, leading off playing second base is DJ LeMahieu. Batting second, playing left field is Holiday. Batting third, playing first base is Hilton. Batting fourth, playing right field is Walker. Batting fifth, playing center field is Gonzalez. Batting sixth, playing third base is Atkins. Batting seventh, playing shortstop is Story. Batting eighth, doing the catching is Netta, and on the mound batting ninth is CHACIN. Let's get down here to Coors Field in Colorado and get this game started. And you got Pete Rose batting 147 with no homers and no RBIs leading off. This is CHACIN's third appearance. He's 0-2 with a 12.86 ERA. And here's the pitch to Pete. And that's going to be against a righty, a 10 starting. Oh, this should be a lovely game. That's going to be a single. In the left field, Pete starts this ball game off with a leadoff hit. See how bad CHACIN gets lit up here. A 10 in the master game. Sure. And that brings up Morgan now. And Joe's batting 286 with 2 homers and 4 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Joe. And that's going to be a ground ball, or pop up rather, behind home plate. And Chris makes the catch. And that'll be out number 1 as Parallel League joins us here. And now you got Ken Griffey up, batting 286, 2 homers and 6 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. And Gonzalez makes the catch for out number 2. So can George do something with the leadoff single, still down at first? George is batting 140 with no homers and 4 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Atkins goes over to second for the final out. The Reds strand 1. We go to the bottom of the first. Reds nothing. Colorado coming to bat. You got DJ, Holiday, and Hilton due up. DJ batting 240 with 3 homers and 3 RBIs. All homers have been solo shots, going up against Gary Nolan, his third appearance of the year. He's 1-1 with a 3.21 ERA. And here's the pitch to DJ. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Gary. He's up with it, fires over to first for out number 1. And Matt Holiday's up now, batting 320 with 2 homers and 6 RBIs. And that's going to be a base on balls. So Colorado gets a runner aboard here with 1 out. And Todd Hilton comes to the plate. Todd batting 227. He's got no homers and no RBIs. Here's the pitch to Todd. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. And that's Gary's first strikeout of the game. That brings up Larry Walker now with 2 outs and a runner at first, batting 260 with 3 homers and 5 RBIs. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. That ball is hit in the right field. And with 2 outs, will Holiday be able to score here? Let's see. It'll be 52. They're going to send him. It'll be a 56 or lower. He's safe at home here. It'll be an RBI double and a 61. Griffey throws him out. And it's still tied up, folks. Nice throw by Griffey out there in right field. Throws the runner out at home. And it's still a nothing game. Tip of the cap to Ken Griffey. We go to the top of the second. It's nothing. You got Bench, Perez, and Vato due up here. And Johnny batting .227 with 2 homers and 5 RBI. And that's a base on balls. And again, the Reds get the leadoff batter aboard here. See, the Reds are 5 and 6, batting .226 with a .284 on base percentage, slugging .411 with a .695 OPS. Colorado 5 and 7, batting .252 with a .317 on base percentage, slugging .448 with a .765 OPS. Now you got a runner down at second, and Tony Perez is up. And Tony is batting .184 with 2 homers and 3 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Perez, and he gets a hold of this one. And against 11, 7 coming 11, take me out of the sky. That's going to be a single into right field. And Bench with nobody out is going to stop at second. So the first 2 batters are aboard here as Greg joins us again. Yeah, like I say, the Reds had a lot of players I liked. And again, I wasn't a Reds fan either, but I liked a lot of their players. So now we got first and second. Nobody up, and Joey Votto comes to the plate batting .263 with no homers and an RBI. Can the Reds finally cash in here as we drop the dice? And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Joey out. So the runners are still at first and second for Barry Larkin. And Barry's batting .318 on the year with 3 homers and 5 RBIs. And that's not what he wanted to do. That's a ground ball down the second. And that's going to be your old 4-6-3 batter safe at first. And Barry's going to beat the throw. How about that, folks? Let's see, a 55 and a 9. Maybe not. We better check this out. Nope. Barry doesn't beat it out. It is going to be a double play to end the inning. So CHACIN gets out of another mess with a tailor-made double play. 4-6-3 double play. And the Reds come up empty. The first 2 batters get aboard and they don't score a run. Could be a big inning there. We'll have to keep that in mind. Now we go to the bottom of the second. Gonzalez, Atkins, and Story due up. Carlos batting .213 with a homer and 8 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Perez at third. He fires over the first for out number 1. And Garrett Atkins comes to the plate, batting a .182, no homers and no RBIs. But he drives that ball into right field, and that'll be a 1-out double. And now Atkins is down at second for Trevor Story. Go ahead, run down at scoring position with 1 out and a 208. 2 homer, 5 RBI Story at the plate. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. Only plays Votto, tosses it over to Nolan covering, and that'll be out number 2. But the runner does get down the third. And Chris Iannetta's up. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, Greg. And Chris batting .238, no homers and no RBIs. And that's a big strikeout. Nolan strikes him out. They strand a runner at third. To the top of the third we go. Still no score. And talking about Nolan, Nolan's going to lead it off, followed by Rose and Morgan. And Gary's looking for his first hit of the year. He's 0 for 2. And that's going to be a fly ball out the center field. Gonzalez makes the catch. And there's quickly one down. Pete Rose started this game off with a single. See if he can get aboard again here. And he does, folks. Pete drives that ball in the right field, turns on it, and he's aboard again. Let's see if this time they can get him to come across home plate. And Joe Morgan popped up behind home plate his last time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. And they'll get Rose out at second. But Morgan's too fast. They don't turn the double play. That'll be a 4-6 put out. Now Morgan down at first. And Joe's going to take off, and there's no way he can be thrown out. So Morgan's going to steal second. Get in scoring position here for Ken Griffey. And Griffey flew out the center field, 2 outs, and Morgan down at second. And it pays off. Griffey gets a hold of this one, folks. And with Morgan's speed, even on a single, he should score. And that's going to be a double in the left field. And the Reds take a 1-0 lead. Ken Griffey delivers here. And there's still a runner down at second and 2 outs for Mr. George Foster. Foster grounded into a force play his first time up. And that's going to be a base on balls. And Chacin's having trouble getting that final out here in the third. That brings up Johnny Bench. Johnny walked his first time up. Can Johnny deliver here? Griffey and Foster both have great speed. A single scores Griffey. A double probably scores George. And that's going to be against the righty. It'll be a 14. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Trevor's going to fire over to first to get Bench. And that'll end the inning. But the Reds score 1 on the double by Griffey. Take a 1-0 lead into the bottom of the third. You got CHACIN due up, followed by DJ and Holiday. And CHACIN is batting 500 because we don't need no stinking DH. Here's the pitch to him. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Gary. He fires over the first for out number 1. And you see the Reds have struck out 66 batters, walked 30, 21 doubles and 1 triple. Colorado with 90 strikeouts, 33 walks, 31 doubles, and 4 triples. DJ's up. He's 0 for 1 today. And he's 0 for 2 because that's a fly ball out to George. He makes the catch for out number 2. And here's Matt Holliday. He's walked his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out the Rose. That's a 1-2-3 third. You get to the top of the fourth. It's 1-0 Reds. And you got Perez due up, followed by Votto and Larkin. Tony singled it back in the second. He's 1 for 1. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Larry and right. He waits on it, makes the catch, and that's out number 1. And now Joey Votto's up. He struck out his first time up. Not this time. He gets a hold of this one, folks. That ball is belted in the deep center field. Kiss it goodbye. Joey Votto. Has this doubled your fun, doubled your pleasure, doubled the lead with double mint gum. And it's 2-0. Cincinnati here in the fourth with Barry Larkin grounded into that 4-6-3 double play. He's 0 for 1. And that's going to be a base on balls. Larkin walks on down the first. And Barry's going to try to steal. They're not going to bunt here. They're going to let Barry steal. And it's going to be a 33. So that's a 60. 63 or lower. Barry's safe, and he's in there with a stolen base. So Barry's in the scoring position here with 1 out. And now they might just bunt him over to second. Or do they? They might let him steal third. Let's see if he can steal third here. Nope, can't steal third. So they're going to try to bunt him over to third here. And that's going to be a 24. That's going to be 2 strikes on Gary. They are going to keep the bunt sign on. No, they're going to take the bunt sign off. Going to let him swing away here. And that's going to be a ground ball. That's going to be a pop-up in the foul territory along the first baseline. And Todd's going to go over, make the catch. And the runner stays put. Now there's 2 outs. Pete Rose, who's having a nice game. He's 2 for 2. With Larkin down at second, can he add to this lead? Here's the pitch to Pete. And Charlie Hustle is going to be 3 for 3 today, folks. That's going to be a single into. It's going to be a single in the right field. And a 5. That's going to be a 56. He should score easily. Barry with no throw. Let's see here. Yep. So Rose with an RBI single. He's 3 for 3. And now he's got an RBI. And it is now a 3-0 ball game. And now you got Pete down at first with 2 outs for Joe Morgan. And Joe's 0 for 2. He did reach on a fielder's choice. Stole second and came around to score. And that's going to be a against the righty 6, and he's getting plummeted here. That'll be a what? +4. That'll be a 6. And that's going to be popped up down the third. Morgan just got under it. That'll win the inning. But the Reds score 2, take a 3-0 lead. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. 3, 4, 5 hitters. The big boys coming up here for Colorado. Hilton, Walker, and Gonzalez. Todd is 0 for 1. He struck out first time up, but not this time. He blasts this one in the right field. Kiss it goodbye. And it's now a 2-run ball game as Todd Hilton hits his first homer of the year. It's 3-1, folks. Now things can change quickly here in Colorado. Now you got Larry Walker, who doubled his first time up, 1 for 1. And that's going to be against the righty 16 and a 10. And that's going to be popped up. Larry got underneath of that one. That's popped up to Morgan near the mound. Morgan makes the catch for out number 1. And Gonzalez comes up. Carlos 0 for 1, grounded out. And that's going to be a ground ball. Nice play by Barry Larkin. Dive and stop. Gets up, fires over, and gets Gonzalez by a step. Just took a base hit away from Carlos. Now there's 2 outs. And Atkins is up. He doubled his first time up. He's 1 for 1. And that's going to be a 21. That's going to be a ground ball down to Perez. He gets to it near the line, fires over to Joey. And after the leadoff homer, Nolan settles down, but it's a 3-1 ball game as we get to the top of the 5th. And the big boys are due up here for the Reds. Griffey, Foster, and Bench. You can see Cincinnati's got one more game here in Colorado. Then they go home, take on the Houston Astros for 2 games. Then the Mets come to town. And Griffey with that RBI double his last time up. And that ball is well hit. Griffey having a hell of a game too. See where this one lands. That ball is blasted in the left field. And it's over Holiday's head. Griffey with his speed's going to make it down the third easily with a leadoff triple, folks. That's going to force Colorado to bring the infield in. And George is up, and George is 0 for 1. He had walked his last time up, and that's going to be another walk. CHACIN doesn't want nothing to do with Big George. George walks on down in the first. That does set up the double play if you want to. And I think they are going to play back for the double play. Bench is up. He's 0 for 1. And that's going to be another walk. CHACIN has walked. The base is loaded here. And that's getting the bullpen up in a hurry now. And Tony Perez comes to the plate. He is 1 for 2 today. Can he blast this ball and bust this game open here? Base is full of Reds. Griffey at third. Foster at second. Bench at first. Perez at the plate, and here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 39. And that's going to be a rare play with the bases full. 39 and a 16. 16 and a 39. That's going to be hit down the second base. DJ's down there. And that's not good. A 65 and a 9 should be fielding column 3. Not going to be good. That's for darn sure. Yep, that'll be fielding column 3. And with the defense back safe at first on fielder's choice. Runner first, forced out at second. Other runners advance 1 base. Runner on second scores, and batter takes second on wild throw. So they get the runner out at second. So they'll get the runner out at second. Let's see how this is going to go. Let's look this up real quick, because he has now added that you can do this. Board game companion with these errors now with the assist. So we're going to have an error. Let's see how this will work here. Because he does have it set up to do this. So it's going to be an error. So it's going to be an so it's going to be an ET, and it'll be an error on the second baseman, right? It'll be a 4, and it'll be a 6-4 put out, and the batter will get down to second. Let's see here. Nope. God darn it. God darn it here. How did we do this? Okay. An ET. Let's do it this way first. We'll do a 6-4 ET4. See if that'll work. Nope. God damn it. Now I know you can do this. Now how in the hell can you get it? So an ET. So it'll be a 6-4, 6-4. And where was the throw? Wild throw to first. So assist 6. And the batter gets down to second. Let's see if this works. There we go. We finally got her now. But it didn't work because the batter didn't get down to second. So we're just going to advance the batter down to second. I ain't fucking with this no more. Sorry about that. I get a little aggravated. So we'll just advance the runner. Alrighty, so now we got second and third. Let's make sure everything went right. Let's see here. Second and third should be 1 out now. And Joey Votto's up. And it is now a 4-1 ball game. And they'll keep the infield in. Sorry about that, but we finally got it done. And now you got Joey up. And Joey homered his last time up. And the infield's in. Here's the pitch to Votto. And that's going to be a base on balls. And that's going to be it for CHACIN. They're going to have to take him out here. He walks the bases loaded. Let's see who they're going to bring in. Should have had a double play, but let's see who they're going to bring in here. And I think they're going to bring in White's going to come in the game. White will come in, and they're not going to pitch hit for him. He's going to have to eat some innings up. So they're not going to do a double switch. Well, maybe. Let's see. They can bring Vinny in. They can bring Vinny in, couldn't they? They're not. They're gonna let White hit for himself. Like I say, he's gonna have to eat up some innings. So White's coming in the game. This is his 5th appearance. He's got no record with a 3 ERA. He's got the bases full of Reds, 1 out in a 4-1 ball game. They're going to bring the infield in. And you got Barry Larkin, and Barry Larkin is 0 for 1 today. He walked and came around to score his last time up. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. And that'll be a Foster. Let's see if he can score here. That'll be a 30. That'll be a 47. And they're going to throw the ball in. The third, Perez is going to stay put. That's going to be a sacrifice fly. So the run will score. And now there's 2 outs, and it's first and second instead of letting Perez advance on the throw. So we got first and second, 2 outs in a 5-1 ball game, trying to limit the damage here. And you got Gary up. See if Gary can help his own cause. 0 for 2 today. And that's going to be a pop up behind home plate. Chris takes the mask off near the screen, makes the catch, but the Reds score 2 more runs to make it a 5-1 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 5th. And you got Story, Iannetta, and like I said, White's going to hit for himself. And Trevor's 0 for 1. He grounded out his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. George has got it for out number 1. And Iannetta comes up. He's 0 for 1, struck out his last time up. And that's going to be a ground ball. Nope, that's going to be a fly ball out the rows. Pete makes the catch, and there's 2 down. And like I said, especially with 2 outs, we're not pitch hitting. And White's up, and this will be White's first appearance. He batted .222 in 2000, and he had a homer and 2 RBIs, so who knows? Let's see what White can do here, folks. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Greg strikes him out. 1, 2, 3, 5th. To the top of the 6th we go. And the top of the order due up here for the Big Red Machine, Rose, Morgan, and Griffey. And they're already up by 4, and Pete's a perfect 3 for 3 today with an RBI. And excuse me, make it 4 for 4. He squares this one up, folks. Drives that ball over third base, pulls that ball and gets himself a double this time in the left field. So Pete Rose is in scoring position with nobody out, and Joe Morgan at the plate. And Joe's 0 for 3. He did reach on a fielder's choice and came around the score back in the 3rd. Here's the pitch to Joe. And that's high. That ball is hit hard. That ball is far. How far is this one going to get? Off the wall. Didn't quite get enough of that one, folks. Hit that ball in the right center field. Walker picks it up, fires it in, but that's an RBI double for Morgan. White kept the ball just out of the sweet spot. Morgan thought he had one, but it couldn't quite carry. So now you still got a runner down at second. And Ken Griffey at the plate. And Griffey's 2 for 3. He's got a double, a triple, and an RBI. Let's see if he can get a homer here. And that ball is hit hard. And they're just lighting up these Colorado Rockies pitchers today, folks. And that ball is laced in the left field, and that'll be a double. So Griffey with his second double of the game, and all of a sudden now it's a 7-1 game. Still nobody out. The big boys are doing it today. And that brings up Foster. He's 0 for 1, but he has walked twice and came around the score his last time up. And that's going to be against the lefty, 17. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. And a runner will get down the third. So 4-3 put out. Now you got a runner at third. And with a 7-1 game, they're going to bring the infield in. It's Colorado. 6 runs. You can get 6 runs in a heartbeat here. So they'll bring the infield in. Bench is 0 for 1. He has walked twice in this game. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. And the runner's going to hold at third. White looks him back, fires over to first. And now there's 2 down. And Tony Perez is up now with a runner at third, 90 feet away. He's got an RBI fielder's choice he grounded into. And that was the error play that scored a run. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third, a 36 and a 3. And that'll be fielding column 3. And that's going to be safe at first. Runner scores, batter to second on wild throw. So that's going to be an E5. And the batter gets down the second. And another unearned run scores, folks. Colorado just trying to lose this game. So now you got a runner down at second and 2 outs. And Joey Votto's up. He homered back in the 4th. He is 1 for 2. And that's going to be a pop up down the second. DJ waits for it to come down, catches it, And that'll finally be out number 3. But the Reds score 3, open this game up. It's 8-1. Turn out the lights. This party's over, folks. You got the top of the order due up here for the Rockies. DJ, Holiday, and Hilton. DJ 0 for 2 today. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Griffey for out number 1. And Matt Holiday comes to the plate now, and he's 0 for 1. And not now. He squares this one up, folks. See where this one lands out in Colorado. That's going to be a double. That'll be a double in the right field. And now Colorado's got a runner in scoring position and one out for Todd Hilton. And Todd, he homered his last time up to put the Rockies on the scoreboard. Not this time. That'll be a 54 and a 2. That'll be fielding column 2. And the runner will get down the third. That's a ground ball back to the mound. He fires over the third. Holiday gets down the third now with 2 outs, and Larry Walker's up. And Walker is 1 for 2 with a double in this game. And that's going to be a ground ball. Nope, that's going to be a fly ball. Ground ball. I was right down the first. And Joey takes it himself, and that ends the inning, folks. Colorado strands 1 to the top of the 7th. We go in an 8-1 ball game. You got Larkin, Nolan, and Rose due up here. Here's the pitch from White. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Barry out for out number 1. And Nolan's up now. He's 0 for 3. He has flown out, popped up twice. And he gets a hold of this. Where's this one going to go, folks? That is the question. Does he get a base hit here? So that'll be a 15, 22. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Holiday takes a base hit away from Gary. And that is out number 2. And now Pete Rose, who is 4 for 4. He has a double and an RBI and came around to score, having an awesome game. Here's the pitch to Rose. And they finally get him out. That's a ground ball down the short. Fires over the first. And we go to the 7th inning stretch. It's 8-1 Cincinnati. We got Gonzalez, Atkins, and Story due up here against Nolan. This will probably be Nolan's last inning here. Morgan. Ready, says, fire that ball in, and here's the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. George makes the catch for out number 1. And you got Atkins up now. And Atkins, he is 1 for 2. He doubled in this game. And that's going to be a pop up down the second for out number 2. And Trevor, can he get a 2-out rally going here? Trevor's 0 for 2, grounded out and flown out. And that's going to be a comebacker to Gary. He fires over to first, a 1-2-3 7th. To the top of the 8th we go. We got Morgan due up here, followed by Griffey and Foster. And Joe's 1 for 4 with an RBI. Double his last time up. Also came around the score, and that's a ground ball down to Trevor. And he bobbles this one, folks. Unbelievable. This Third error of the game for the Rockies. And Morgan's down at second. And Morgan's going to take off and steal second for the second time today, folks. So Joe Morgan can't be thrown out, so he's down at second with his second stolen base. And Colorado ain't liking this. That's rubbing salt into the wound here. Stealing second, but Morgan's like, if you're going to give it to me, I'm taking it. So Morgan's in the scoring position, and Griffey 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and a triple, 2 RBIs, and came around the score twice. And he keeps this up, and he does. Griffey is on a tear here, folks. Squares this ball up. He's loving Colorado. And that ball is hit into the gap and left field. And Morgan will score easily on that double. And the stolen base pays off. And it is now 9-1. And now you got a runner down at second and still nobody out for George Foster. Foster is 0 for 2, but he has walked twice and came around the score. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. That'll get the runner over to third. And at this point in the game, 9-1, they're just playing for outs, folks. They're playing back. Johnny's up. Johnny's 0 for 2. He's walked twice. Here's the pitch for Johnny. And he gets a hold of this one, and the Reds ain't done, folks. They are padding the stats here today. And that's going to be a double into left field. Johnny turns on that one, and that'll bring the run in. And now Johnny's down at second and 1 out. And this is White's game. They're not trying. He's due up second, and they're not trying to waste a bullpen in a 10-1 good buddy game. Tony's up 1 for 4 with an RBI in this game. He reached on an error his other time. And that'll be a and that is an 8. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. A 64. The runner will get down the third. Trevor fires over to first. Now there's 2 outs, a runner at third for Joey Votto. And Joey is 1 for 3 with a homer in this game. And that's going to be a base on balls. And that'll bring up Barry Larkin now. And Barry, he's 0 for 2 with an RBI and a stolen base in this game. And that's going to be a 16. That's going to be a ground ball down to Atkins. He fires across the diamond for out number 3. But the Reds score 2 more and make it a 10-1 ball game here. And let's see. Chapman's going to come out of the bullpen. He'll probably only pitch the 8th. Or do we want to bring who's up first? Let's see what we got here. You got the righty. Got the righties coming up. We're going to go with Carroll. Carroll's going to come out of the bullpen. He'll probably only pitch this 1 inning, so we're not going to do a double switch. Nolan's going to come out of the game with a 4-hit, 1-run game. Goes 7 innings. And Carroll will come in here. And pitch the 8th. In a 9-run ball game. And this is Clay's 3rd appearance. No record with a 10.12 ERA. He's got the bottom part of the order due up. Iannetta, a pitch hitter for White, and then back to DJ. Here's the pitch to Chris. And that's going to be a base on balls, of course. So he walks the first batter he faces. That'll be it for White. I'll have a pitch hitter here for him. See who's going to come off the bench against Clay. And it's going to be Eric Young. He's going to come off the bench. See if he can keep this merry-go-round going. They need a lot of work. Down by 9. Need a lot of base runners. But it's Colorado. If it's going to happen, this is the place it could happen at. And Eric is batting .429, folks. No homers and 1 RBI. And that's going to be against the righty, an 18. That's going to be an infield hit. Eric Young, he's trying to get some playing time, folks. That's an infield hit, and all of a sudden, there's runners on first and second and nobody out. And DJ's up. And DJ is 0 for 3. He's grounded out and flown out twice. And that's going to be a pop-up behind home plate. Johnny Bench calls for it, waits for it to come down. That's a mile high. And he makes the catch for out number 1. And now you got Matt Holliday up with 1 out, runners on first and second. He's 1 for 2. He doubled his last time up. And not this time. That's a fly ball out to Rose in center field. And Chris will stay put. Now there's 2 outs and runners still at first and second. And Todd Hilton's up now. And do we make the change here to Chapman? That would be the question. And if we do that, I think they're going to let him pitch to Todd. Chapman can still come in and pitch to Walker and Gonzalez in the 9th. And that's going to be a fly ball out the Rose again. And Colorado strands 2. We go to the top of the 9th. It's 10-1 Reds. We'll have a pitch hitter here for Carroll. And Chapman, like I say, will come on in and pitch the 9th with the lefties coming up. And let's see who's going to come off the bench here. First, we need a pitcher here. And it's going to be Reed. Reed will come out of the dugout, out of the bullpen. So Reed will come out of the pen. And this is Reed's 6th appearance of the year. He has got 1 save with a 2.25 ERA. And I think Casey's going to come out. Sean Casey's coming off the bench. The pitch hit here for Carroll. And Casey at the plate. And Casey is 1 for 6, batting .167, no homers and no RBIs. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. That ball is blasted down the first base line. He turns on it. That's a fair ball, and he's got himself a leadoff double. Sean Casey down at second and nobody out. And here comes Pete Rose, who is 3 for 4 today. Can Pete drive in another run? Sorry, he's 4 for 5 with a double. And nope, that's a tailor-made double. No, it ain't a double play. What am I talking about? 62. That's going to be a ground ball down the second. DJ's up with it. The runner gets down the third. And now there's 1 out for Joe Morgan. And again, in a 10-1 game, they're not worried about the run. Joe's 1 for 5 with an RBI. He's doubled and stolen 2 bases in this game. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And that's going to be a single. And let's see here. With the infield back. Nope. He makes the play. And Casey's going to hold at third. So he looks the runner back to third. Fires over to first. for out number 2. So now there's 2 outs and Ken Griffey's up. And Griffey's having a whale of a game here, folks. He is 4 for 5 with 3 doubles and a triple, 3 RBIs on the game. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center. Gonzalez makes the catch. Casey's double gets stranded. And we go to the bottom of the 9th in a 10-1 ball game. And Chapman's going to be coming out the pitch here. So Chapman's coming out of the bullpen to face Walker Gonzalez and Atkins here in the bottom of the 9th. And Chapman, this is his 4th appearance. He's got 2 saves and no ERA. And Larry's 1 for 3. He doubled in this game. And that's going to be against the lefty. That'll be a fly ball out to center field. Rose calls for it, makes the catch for out number 1. And now it brings up Carlos, and he's 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and flown out. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Morgan's up with it for out number 2. And here comes Atkins now. Last chance for Colorado, down by 9. He does have a double in this game, folks. And that's going to be against the lefty. It'll be a 17. That's going to be a 35, 17. That's going to be an infield hit. Atkins gets aboard here. Colorado ain't done yet. Runner down at first. 2 outs. Trevor Story's up. And Trevor is 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and flown out. And that ball is well hit. And all of a sudden, with 2 outs, Chapman's getting in a little bit of trouble here, folks. That's going to be a double in the right field. And Atkins, with his speed, is not going to test Griffey. So that's going to be 2nd and 3rd. And his run means absolutely nothing in a 9-run game. And that brings up Chris. And Chris is 0 for 2. He did walk his last time up after getting 2 quick outs now. Chapman was 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs. Making it interesting here. That's going to be a hit by pitch. I don't know if Chapman's getting frustrated or what, but now the bases are full of Rockies. And it could get interesting. Yeah, very interesting. And we'll have a pitch hitter here for Reed. Didn't see this happening. Like I say, anything's possible in Colorado. Remember my little propellers in Colorado? And Alex Burks is going to come off the bench. Burks is having one hell of a start to the year. See if he can do some damage here against Chapman. And Burks is batting .440 with 5 homers and 8 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Burks. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes him out. Chapman made it interesting, folks. Loads the bases up and gets a strikeout to end the 9th inning. In a 10-1 game. Here at the box score. It was all Reds, that's for sure. So the Reds 10 runs on 13 hits and no errors. The Rockies 1 run, 7 hits and 3 errors. And look at that. Rose 4 for 6, Griffey 4 for 6, Griffey 3 RBIs, 3 doubles, and a homer, and a triple rather. Votto's got the homer. They were 6 for 22 with runners in scoring. They scored 10 runs and they still left 11 men on base. And Atkins, only Colorado Rocky with a multiple hit game, 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Todd Hilton, with the only run of the game, hit a solo homer. They left 8 men on base. Gary Nolan picks up his second win. He's 2-1, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, struck out 3 and gave up a homer. Carroll comes in, pitches 1 inning, walked 1. Chapman comes in, 1 inning, 2 hits, struck out 1. And poor CHACIN drops to 0-3, 4 1/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, only 3 of them earned. 6 walks, that's what killed him. 1 strikeout and a homer. White comes in, 3 2/3 with 5 hits, 5 runs. Again, only 3 of them earned. Walked 1, struck out 1. Reed comes in, shuts them down in the 9th, but too little too late, just 1 hit. Yeah, that is the Rocky Mountain way, ain't it? Yeah. Yep. Now let's take a look here at the standings and leaderboard in the National League. And the Braves game up on the Mets. The Nationals 2 games back. The Phillies 2.5, and Florida 3.5. And in the Central, the Brewers are now a half a game up on the Pirates. St. Louis a game back. The Cubbies a game and a half. And with the win, the Reds are now at 500, 2 games back. And Houston 4 games back. And out west, the Giants lead the Dodgers by a game and a half. Arizona and San Diego's 3 games back. And with the loss, Colorado drops to 4 games back. And Paul Molitor is leading the league with a 4.57 ERA average. And Bonds and Sosa with 7 homers. Jeff Bagwell with 14 RBIs. And right now, the league leader in ERAs at 0. And I think there's 10 pitchers, at least 10 pitchers, maybe more, with 2 wins on the year. And you got 3 pitchers, Kimber, Suter, and Tekulve with 3 saves. Sammy's leading in MVP voting, and Juan Marischal's leading in the Cy Young. And the next game on the channel will be the final game of this series. 4-game series. Let's take a look and see what the pitching matchup will be. And you're going to have Mr. Perky, Bob Perky, going up against Kyle Freeland. See if the Rockies can bounce back. They've lost the last 2 games after winning the first one. I want to thank Parallel League and Greg for stopping by today. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost a dime. Hit that bell for reminders. Until next time, guys, have a great day and take care.